It's 2026, and humanity stands on the brink of a new era. One where machines will do almost all the work, and human labor is no longer necessary. But what happens to our identity and our value to the new digital overlords when our worth is decoupled from productivity? If we are deemed worthy of food, water, and air, then what lies in wait beyond that threshold? Are we entering a new age of liberation? Or are we facing an existential void and infinite leisure that may ultimately leave us lost? For centuries, our value was tied to our ability to produce. Work defined who we are. Now, automation, AI, and robotics have begun to dismantle that very scaffold. Jobs are disappearing. Industries are transforming overnight. And society's old measures of worth are crumbling like a house of cards. If work was the backbone of our identity, then what replaces it when that backbone is broken? Leisure was once a privilege, time to relax, to reflect, to create. But in this new world, leisure will become a systemic necessity, an enforced state of free time designed not by choice, but by necessity. Such a shift will raise a critical question. Is leisure liberation, or does it become a psychological prison? Without the structure of work, will we drift aimlessly, or can we discover new forms of purpose? The ancient philosophers spoke of otium, purposeful leisure, as the highest form of life, an idea foreign to modern city-state dwellers. So what happens when leisure is no longer optional, but rather built into the very fabric of society? In a post-labor economy, perhaps a renaissance of otium is called for. Will it reemerge through art, community, self-discovery, or in the very act of creating meaning itself, beyond the need to produce? Decoupling worth from productivity, it'll surely trigger an identity crisis for most people. If we are no longer defined by what we do, then how, the masses will ask, do we define ourselves? The psychological fallout could be profound. Many will feel aimless, anxious, disconnected. And of course, this is not even considering bills that will still need to be paid. However, assuming the economics of such a scenario could actually be solved, there can exist in such a system an opportunity, a chance to forge new identities, ones rooted in authenticity, relationships, inner purpose. But first, we must confront and answer a question. What is the purpose of life when work no longer defines us? And maybe this one too. How do we get UBI to work? This topic, of course, spawns more questions than answers. We must reconsider what it means to be human in a world where our labor is no longer necessary. My stop is coming up. Can technology elevate us beyond mere survival toward a richer, more meaningful existence? Or in spite of surviving, will the void of purpose threaten to engulf us, even if the new trillionaire digital overlords decide we can survive? Then how do we build a new archetype of meaning, an apparatus that will sustain our humanity in such an age of automation? The rain is on the roof. Hurry high, butterfly. Where are we? And so we stand. And so we stand before two thresholds, a post-labor threshold and a behavioral threshold, both with monsters waiting in the maze. Here's one of them, the behavioral threshold monster, waiting to drag us all down into Calhoun's behavioral sink. So what are you all waiting for? Run along to your doom-scrolling traps while you can. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section on the way out. If you found anything useful, please take a moment. You can like, share, and subscribe. You can even ring the little bell for notifications. Until next time, this has been Katatu, your humble host here for Universe 26, the channel at the end of the universe.